My mom stole my identity to date my ex, now they are getting married Part 1. Chapter 1, I woke up to a DM from my own face. I swear to you, I wasn't even awake for 5 full minutes when the insanity started. It was just a normal morning, I was groggy, probably had pillow creases still stamped into my cheek, scrolling through my phone like a zombie, trying to muster the willpower to get out of bed. You know the drill, check texts, scroll Instagram, maybe see who liked last night's story. But then I saw it. A notification from Instagram. A DM. From a username I didn't recognize. Something like @trueeva_love. Weird, right? My name is Ava. So I was like, who the hell is impersonating me? I click on the profile. And my stomach drops. It's me. My face. My smile. My photos. Every single picture on this account was taken from my real profile. Except the captions were different. Sexual, romantic, flirty. Creepy. Then I saw the message. Wish you were still mine. Sent at 3:47 a.m. Sent to my ex-boyfriend, Jake. That's when the room started spinning. This fake account wasn't just catfishing some random guy. It was targeting my ex, a man I dated for almost 3 years. A man I cried over. A man my mother hated. And I mean hated. She used to call him the tattooed parasite. So why was this mysterious account pretending to be me, reaching out to him in the middle of the night? I went full FBI mode. Clicked view chat. There it was, a full conversation thread between this fake me and Jake. And not just one message. I mean, dozens. Flirty banter. Inside jokes only the real me would know. Things like, remember that time we skinny dipped at Crystal Lake? I still think about it every night. Excuse me, what? I haven't spoken to Jake in months. We ended badly. Like, throw his stuff out the window bad. He should have blocked anything with a pulse that even resembled me. But he hadn't. In fact, he was replying. Enthusiastically. Oh my God, I miss you too. I never stopped loving you. I felt sick. I checked the date, these messages had been going on for weeks. This wasn't some one-time DM. This was a full-blown fake relationship. And here's the worst part. Whoever was behind this fake Ava account wasn't just stealing my photos. They were writing like me. Talking like me. They even knew how I used to tease Jake about his terrible cooking. They knew personal things. Suddenly, a horrible thought hit me. Someone close to me. Someone with access to my old photos, my private stories, my memories. Someone who hated Jake. Someone who could twist everything just enough to become a better version of me. No. No way. I shook my head, trying to convince myself it wasn't possible. But my gut already knew. I put down my phone. Stood up. Walked straight to the kitchen, barefoot, in pajamas, heartbeat pounding. And there she was. My mother. Sitting at the table, drinking her morning coffee with this smug little half-smile on her lips. Like she'd just gotten away with something delicious. Morning, sweetheart, she said, barely looking up. And in that moment, I knew. I didn't have proof yet. But I could feel it in my bones. My own mother was pretending to be me, to seduce my ex. I didn't know the full story yet. But one thing was certain, this was war. Chapter 2, my mom's phone blew up with my nudes. I wasn't gonna let it sit. I didn't sleep that night. My brain was spinning like a washing machine on demon mode. The more I thought about that fake Instagram account, The more I could feel the rage bubbling in my chest. My own mother, catfishing my ex-boyfriend using my face? There are crimes, and then there's violating the sacred bond between mother and daughter to flirt with your daughter's ex. This was full-blown betrayal with glitter on top. So the next morning, I walked into the kitchen with my receipts ready. I slammed my phone down on the counter. "Mom," I said, voice shaking, "explain this." She looked up, cool as ever, sipping her organic coffee like nothing had happened. "Explain what?" she asked, blinking way too slowly. That smug smile again. "If you know, you know." The one moms use when they think they are still smarter than you, even when their house is about to catch fire. "This," I hissed, flipping the screen to show the DM thread. Her eyes flicked down, scanning the messages. Then, she laughed. "Sweetheart, why would I pretend to be you?" She sipped. "If I wanted Jake back, I'd just go get him myself." I stared at her. My blood froze. "I never said it was Jake," I said slowly. She blinked. "Oh. Gotcha." Her hand twitched just slightly, like she wanted to grab her phone. But I was faster. "Give me your phone." She clutched it like it was her damn lifeline. "Excuse me." "Give me your phone." Now, you'd think if she were innocent, she'd hand it over, right? Like any sane, non-psycho, non-catfishing mom? Nope. She refused. So I did what any desperate, emotionally ruined daughter would do. I lunged for her purse. And that's when it happened. Bzzzzzt. Her purse started buzzing. Not once. Not twice. Over and over again. It wasn't the phone in her hand. It was a second phone. I yanked it out. It was an older iPhone, cracked screen, no passcode. The screen lit up. And I saw everything. Dozens, no, hundreds, of messages between her and Jake. But not under her name. She was using a fake account, Ava_a3L. She'd even photoshopped some of my pics to make me look more risk. And then, the gallery. Jesus. The gallery. It was packed with my old Instagram selfies. Screenshotted stories. Snaps I'd sent to my friends. Even videos from my TikTok drafts. Private. Stuff. Stuff I had never posted anywhere. Stuff that had lived only on my phone, or so I thought. I turned to her, shaking. "You've been copying me. Every single thing I post, you've been stealing." "Why? Why?" She looked dead in my eyes and said, "Because you threw him away, and I knew how to keep him." I don't even remember screaming, but apparently I did, because our neighbor texted me later asking if I was okay. I think I blacked out from rage for a second. She stood there, arms crossed, defiant. No apology. No shame. She actually looked proud. "You don't understand, Ava," she said coolly. "He needs someone who sees the real him. You were always too busy trying to fix him. But I accept him as he is. Maybe that's why he's texting me at 3 a.m., not you." I snapped. "Because you're pretending to be me, you psycho." That hit something. Her jaw clenched. Her voice went sharp. "Oh, please. If I wanted to seduce a man, I wouldn't need to pretend to be you. But guess what? It worked. So maybe you should be taking notes." I felt like I was going to be sick. I didn't even know what to say. This wasn't just identity theft. This was identity absorption. She didn't just want Jake. She wanted to be me. My mother, my own flesh and blood, had become my competition. And the worst part? Jake was falling for it. Chapter 3, My ex is flirting with the catfish, and it's working. After what happened with the second phone and my mom practically smirking her way through a full-blown psychological warfare campaign against me, I knew I couldn't just sit back and let her keep playing puppet master with my life. No. If she wanted to catfish my ex using my identity, I was about to catfish the catfish. I made a burner Instagram. Nothing fancy, just a fresh account with no followers, no posts. I gave it a believable username like @ThivaWatcher and followed both Jake and my mom's fake Ava account. I kept it private, no profile pic. The kind of account people don't question, but they notice. Sure enough, within minutes, I got a follow back from @Ava_a3l. Her. My mom. In full-blown digital drag as me. Then I started watching. Lurking. Collecting receipts. And what I saw made me want to scream into the abyss. Jake was obsessed. He was sending voice notes. Videos. Late-night photos of himself shirtless in bed with the caption "Thinking about you." Full-on cringe romantic nonsense like, "I've never stopped loving you. Even when we weren't talking, I hoped you'd come back. And now that you have, I'm never letting go again." I felt my stomach churn. This was a man who once left me on red during a panic attack. Now he was quoting Taylor Swift lyrics to my mother in a satin robe. But it got worse. He started planning things. Real things. I saw him write, "We should take that trip to the coast you always wanted. Just the two of us, like we talked about last summer." Except, I was the one who had talked about that trip. Not my mother. He had no idea he was now planning to relive my memories with a woman twice his age pretending to be me. The lines between real and fake were disintegrating. And Jake? Jake was totally, hopelessly, passionately buying it. One message shook me so badly, I almost dropped my phone. "I wish I could just go back in time and choose you all over again. I'd never make the same mistake. I'd never let anyone get between us. Especially not your mom." I stared at that sentence for a solid 5 minutes. He thought he was talking to me. And he thought the woman he was now dating was being kept apart from him, by my mom. The level of delusion was actually poetic. Jake had rewritten the entire breakup in his head. In this version, he and I were soulmates cruelly separated by a controlling, jealous mother. And now, irony of ironies, he was falling in love with that very mother by pretending she was me. Do you see the kind of Greek tragedy-level madness we're dealing with here? And then, the voice memos started getting more intimate. He sent one that said, "I want to do things right this time. No lies. No secrets. Just us. You and me, forever. I've been thinking about proposing again. I know we talked about it before, but now, it feels real. I wanted to scream. Propose. Again. We had discussed marriage back in the day. He'd even bought a ring once, cheap, tacky, from some sketchy site, but it had been a big moment. Now he was talking about giving that same damn ring to my mother, while imagining it was me. My face was hot. My hands were trembling. I wanted to smash the phone into a million pieces. But I didn't. Because deep down, I knew what I had to do. This wasn't about Jake anymore. This wasn't even about heartbreak. This was about revenge. I wasn't going to just sit back and watch my own mother steal my identity and my past. If they wanted to build a fake little love story using pieces of me, then I was going to make sure it exploded in their faces. They were playing with fire. And I was done playing nice. Chapter 4, my mom walked in wearing my lingerie. At this point, I was already losing grip on what was real. My ex was in love with my mom, but thought it was me. My mom was texting him, seducing him, and reliving my relationship like she'd stolen my soul and slipped it on like a second skin. And somehow, he couldn't tell the difference. But nothing, not even the secret phone, not even the messages, not even the talk of proposing, prepared me for what I walked into that day. Let me paint the picture for you. I had just come home from a complete emotional breakdown in the car. You know the kind, ugly crying, yelling at the steering wheel, mascara in your mouth. I needed to shower. Scream into a pillow. Maybe move to another planet. Instead, I opened the front door and nearly passed out. She was standing in the living room. In my lingerie. Not similar lingerie. My exact lingerie. The black mesh one-piece from Savage X Fenty that I hid at the back of my drawer. The one I wore once, for Jake's birthday. She found it. And she was wearing it. She had done her makeup like mine, flawless winged eyeliner, pink nude lipstick. She even curled her hair like mine. And not just the curls. The exact way I do them. The part, the volume, the little flipped out ends. She looked like a sick mirror. And the smell. That was my perfume. My signature scent. Replicas by the fireplace. The one I spent months saving up for. The one Jake used to say reminded him of falling in love. She turned, slowly, like she was modeling. Raised an eyebrow. Smirked. Oh, hi sweetheart, she purred. Just trying something new. Something new? It was like walking in on a scene from a horror movie, but directed by the devil wearing heels. I couldn't speak. I literally could not get a single sound out. My mouth opened, and all that came out was this choked whisper. Why are you wearing that? She turned back to the mirror, adjusting the straps like she was prepping for a date. I just thought I'd try your style. It's so youthful, she said, dragging out the word like a knife. You should be flattered. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Flattery? No, this was identity theft with lip gloss. This was full-on single white female, but worse, this woman gave birth to me. You're sick, I snapped. She just laughed. You're being dramatic. It's just lingerie. I was shaking. You wore that for Jake. Didn't you? That's when her smile dropped into something colder. Something darker. She looked me straight in the eye and said, yes. And let me tell you something, honey, he didn't even notice it wasn't you. There it was. The moment my soul cracked in half. She said it so calmly, like she was telling me what she bought at Trader Joe's. He didn't even notice it wasn't you. I couldn't breathe. I stared at her, barely seeing her anymore. The woman in front of me wasn't my mother. She was some creature who had studied me, stalked me, copied every part of me until she could slide right into my skin like it belonged to her. You're disgusting, I said. My voice wasn't even mine anymore. It was shaking, shredded. But she just walked past me, in my lingerie, smelling like my past, and whispered as she passed. No. I'm just better at being you than you are. That was the moment everything changed. I knew she wasn't going to stop. Not until she had everything I'd ever been. Every memory, every man, every moment. She wasn't just obsessed. She was replacing me. And I realized something chilling. If she was bold enough to wear my lingerie in our living room, what else had she already done pretending to be me? Chapter 5, they are dating now. And he brings her to my birthday. I had every intention of cancelling my birthday. After everything, after finding my mom in my lingerie, seducing my ex while pretending to be me, the last thing I wanted was to celebrate being alive. But my best friend Rachel wouldn't let it go. You need to do something, she said. You can't let that witch steal your sparkle. So I gave in. Nothing big. Just a chill backyard thing. Food, drinks, music. A few friends. No drama. No weirdness. No trauma, for once. Also, I thought. The night started off fine. I wore something soft and feminine, pink silk dress, strappy heels, hair freshly curled in defiance. Everyone said I looked stunning, radiant. A walking rebuke to the chaos my mother had become. And for a moment, I actually felt happy. I remember thinking, maybe I'm turning a corner. Maybe the worst is over. I was wrong. So wrong. Around 9:30, I heard a small commotion at the gate. Laughter. Gasps. Whispers. Then Rachel came running toward me, her eyes wide. She didn't say anything. She just grabbed my hand and pointed. And there they were. Jake. And my mother. Hand in hand. Walking into my birthday party like it was their engagement dinner. I froze. He was wearing the same cologne he used to wear when we dated. I could smell it from the other side of the yard. And she was wearing a dress that looked almost identical to mine. Silk. Pink. But just a little tighter. A little shinier. Lower neckline. Like a twisted Barbie version of what I was wearing. She saw me. Smiled. Waved. Waved. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. They were walking toward me and I swear I heard the soundtrack to every horror movie ever made playing in my head. Jake had the audacity, the pure nerve, to grin at me like we were all old friends. "Hey, Ava," he said casually. Then, without blinking. "Guess the heart wants what it wants." The entire party went dead silent. You know those moments in life where time freezes? This was one of them. I looked around, every eye was on us. On me. Waiting to see if I'd cry. Scream. Explode. But I didn't do anything. Because before I could react, my mother leaned in and whispered, loud enough for half the guests to hear. "He's such a good kisser now. Maybe he just needed a woman to teach him." And then she winked. She winked. I felt the heat rush into my face so fast I thought I might faint. Jake chuckled. Chuckled. As if this wasn't the most humiliating, evil, reality-shattering moment of my life. I wanted to disappear. Evaporate. I wanted the earth to open up and swallow me whole. But instead, I stood there. Frozen. Shaking. Rachel grabbed my arm and pulled me away before I could commit a felony. We hid in the kitchen while the rest of the guests stood around awkwardly. Some started leaving. Some whispered. One girl filmed it. I saw the flash go off. It was probably on TikTok before I even finished crying. I collapsed on the floor, mascara dripping, fists clenched. What the hell is wrong with her? I screamed. This was my birthday. Rachel was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "She's not just trying to take your man. She's trying to take your life." And the truth hit me like a punch in the chest. This wasn't about Jake. It never was. My mother was erasing me. Piece by piece. And now, she'd turned my birthday into a trophy ceremony, for herself. That was the moment I realized. This wouldn't stop until one of us was destroyed. Chapter 6, Mom and Ex go public, and Instagram explodes. I didn't check my phone for 2 days after the birthday disaster. I needed a break, from Jake, from my mom, from life, honestly. I curled up in bed with a blanket over my head, only surfacing for water and rage texting Rachel. But on the third day, the buzz started. First, it was Rachel. "Have you seen Instagram?" I replied, "No. Don't want to. Don't care." Then 3 more texts. Then a phone call. "Ava. You need to look. Now." That sentence alone gave me a panic attack. With trembling hands, I opened Instagram. And there it was. My ex and my mother had gone public. Not just posted. Not just soft-launched. They full-blown announced their relationship. Like they were proud. Like they weren't the world's most cursed couple to ever exist. It was a photo dump. 10 photos. 1 my mother and Jake holding hands on the beach at sunset. 2 matching white linen outfits. 3 her in a string bikini sitting on his lap, both laughing, his hand suspiciously low on her hip. 4 them sharing a milkshake. Like they were 15. 5 her wearing my hoodie. My hoodie. 6 a video of them slow dancing in what looked like a hotel suite, candles, roses, the whole disgusting setup. 7 a mirror selfie with a caption, "My heart found its home." And then, the final photo. Jake kissing her neck. Her head tilted back in what I can only describe as the exact same pose I'd once posted when we were together. It wasn't just romantic. It was recreated. He was restaging our relationship with my mother. I stared at the screen, mouth open, frozen. The caption on the whole post? "Love has no rules. No regrets. No apologies." I wanted to scream. I clicked open the comments. Bad idea. My friends were confused. "Wait, is that Ava's mom? Someone please explain this to me. Didn't he date her daughter last year?" But worse. His friends were loving it. "Yo Jake, you bagged the mom? Legend. She low-key hotter than the daughter. Respect. MILF status hot." I nearly threw my phone across the room. Was this real life? My mother. My mother. Being sexualized by the same people who used to call me wifey. And Jake? He was replying to all of them like he was some sort of love god. Dropping heart emojis. Kissing face gifs. He even commented back to one guy. "Ray, all men know a good thing when they see it, even if it takes a second try." A second try. Meaning, me equals failed trial. My mom equals prize. This wasn't just personal anymore. This was public humiliation on a digital stage. This was my name, my face, my past being devoured for likes and emojis. And it was working. They were going viral. People were reposting it on TikTok with dramatic soundtracks. Twitter threads were speculating about the woman who stole her daughter's man. Reddit was calling it a reverse Oedipus plotline. Someone even made a meme of Jake with level, stepdad unlocked in bold white text. I was being turned into a character in my own nightmare. And they were eating it up. My mother posted a story the next day, her sipping champagne, wearing a silk robe, not so coincidentally my old robe from college, captioned, "Unbothered. Moisturized. Thriving. Champagne glasses." My inbox flooded. People from high school. Old co-workers. Even my cousin in Germany. All asking, "Is this for real? Did Jake really leave you for your mom? Are you okay?" No. I was not okay. They were living their fantasy. And I was being turned into a viral punchline. And yet, somewhere inside all the pain, a new feeling started to rise. Resolve. If they wanted the spotlight, fine. But I was going to make sure it burned them alive. This wasn't just about heartbreak anymore. It was war. Chapter 7, they announce their engagement on live. By this point, I had resigned myself to being internet roadkill. I couldn't scroll without seeing their smug, fake fairytale faces staring back at me. Jake and my mom had become couple goals for the morally bankrupt. They were trending on TikTok. They'd gained over 80,000 followers combined in a week. People were calling them the real-life forbidden romance. Others thought it was a prank. Some sickos thought it was hot. Meanwhile, I was curled up in bed, eating dry cereal from the box and praying for a solar flare to wipe out the internet. Then came the announcement. Rachel texted me. Go on IG. Now. They live. I almost didn't look. But some awful, masochistic part of me tapped the notification. And there they were. Live. Smiling. Jake shirtless in bed, my mother curled up next to him in what I swear to God was one of my old college hoodies. The one that said feminist killjoy on it. Oh, the irony. The chat was exploding. Over 3,000 people watching. Heart emojis flying. People screaming you guys. Others saying is that her mom? This can't be real. Jake leaned into the camera, grinning like a smug little weasel. Hey everyone, he said. We have something really special to share. My stomach dropped. He reached over to the nightstand and pulled out a tiny black velvet box. No. No, no, no. Not that box. I recognized it immediately. I had seen it 2 years ago, in his sock drawer. Back when we were still together and he got weirdly secretive around my birthday. It was supposed to be for me. He opened it, revealing a delicate gold engagement ring with a tiny teardrop diamond. And then he turned to my mother, in front of thousands of strangers, and said, I've loved you since the moment you came back into my life. Not as Ava, but as yourself. Will you marry me? My vision went blurry. I was on the floor. Actually sobbing, out loud, like some dramatic telenovela heroine, only this time it was real and being streamed live across the planet. And my mother? She laughed. Not cried. Not gasped. She did this high-pitched, flirty little giggle, then looked at the camera like she was on a reality show reunion episode. Third time's the charm, she said, and slipped the ring on her finger. Third time? Was she admitting to marrying 2 other men before him on Instagram Live while wearing my hoodie? Yes. The comments went wild. Congrats. She really said MILF energy. I'm so confused. Didn't he date her daughter? Is this legal? My therapist will hear about this. And then Jake, dear, idiotic, Jake, kissed her hand and said, We're not hiding anymore. This is real. And we are gonna prove it to everyone. Oh. It was real, all right. I slammed the phone down and screamed into my pillow so hard I startled the neighbor's dog. My brain couldn't compute what just happened. Jake had just proposed to my mother. With a ring meant for me. On Instagram Live, in front of thousands of people, while I was watching. And she said yes like she was accepting a Teen Choice Award. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the live in my head. The way she giggled. The way he smiled at her. The way the internet cheered them on. But here's the thing, something snapped in me. I realized, they weren't hiding anymore. Good. Now I didn't have to hide either. And I wasn't going to cry anymore. No. They'd turned my life into their love story. Now it was my turn to turn their love story into a cautionary tale.
They lied. They cheated. They betrayed the one person who gave them everything. But guess what? The truth always finds a voice, and here, it screams. If you live for chaos, loyalty gone wrong, and revenge served cold, like this video, drop a comment, and hit subscribe, because on Family Drama Unleashed, we don't forgive, and we never forget. Tap that bell, because the next betrayal, it's already on its way.